Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Mocha Smicha. My name is Rabbi Shlomo Chaim Kesselman and I'm the Executive Director of Mocha Smicha. And today in this video I'm going to be walking you through the Smicha program, discussing how the program works, the various components of the program, so that you can make the decision whether or not you would like to be joining the program. Obviously there are many aspects and components of the program, and we're not going to touch on all of them today, but what we are going to focus on are 5 of the primary elements of the Smicha program, which will give you a good enough idea of how the program works and if it's for you, etc. All right, before we get into those 5 components of the core of the program, just a couple of things to discuss. First of all, some people may ask the question, well, why should I even learn for Smicha? Why should I get Smicha? I'm not looking to become a Rav, I'm not looking to become a Poisek, so perhaps this limud, this course of study, is not for me. And the truth is, I think that in a sense, this course of study is actually for everybody, and primarily for 3 reasons. One is that every home needs a rabbi, right? Much like every home is not going to have a doctor, but it is a good idea if every home has somebody who knows first aid, somebody who's proficient, in basic medical help. The same thing is true for halacha. Is every home going to have a big rav, a posek, etc.? No, for sure not. That's not really possible. But what is possible is that every home should have a rabbi in the home, someone who's proficient, at least to a certain degree, in a sense, the first aid of halacha, so that when questions do arise, they know how to deal with them, or know that they don't know how to deal with them, so that they can pass them on to a more senior, more experienced Rav. So that's the first thing, right? To be the Rav, be the rabbi in one's own home, nobody else can do it, so it has to be us. That would be the first reason why I think it's very kedai for people to learn and ultimately receive smicha. The second one is sort of building off the first reason, which is to actually learn how to have the conversation, so to speak. Meaning, when a question does arise in my home and I don't know the answer and I am calling the Rav, well, if I know the halachic concepts and I know some of the mechanisms at play halachically, then I'm able to have a proper conversation with the Rav so that we can actually arrive at the correct halacha. It's almost like one should learn smicha so that they know how to ask the question properly so that we can arrive at the proper psak. That would be the second reason why it's important to learn for Smicha. And the third reason is, and this is huge obviously, which is to learn how to navigate a Shulchan Aruch, right? The Shulchan Aruch is one of the most important svarim that we have. It literally is the instruction manual for how to live as a Frum Yid. And, what better way to spend our time than to learn how to navigate a Shulchan Aruch, go through it, begin to understand the halachic process, get used to learning the Shulchan Aruch, the Noizei Kelim, the commentaries, etc. And specifically, when we talk about these topics that we cover in the Smicha program, these are fundamental concept areas in halacha. They really give a person a good, firm foundation for then being able to go on and to learn the rest of the Shulchan Aruch, because ultimately the purpose of the program is that upon completion, one should be increasing in learning, definitely not stopping. So if one learns through Smicha, gets Smicha, and they've done it properly, then they're actually well on their way to being able to learn Shulchan Aruch in a proper way, which is, again, a very important goal that one should have. So basically those are 3 reasons why I feel it's important that people should learn and ultimately receive smicha. One note that I would mention is that even upon receiving smicha from our program, one is still not authorized to practice or serve as a Rav in any official capacity, because much like any other profession where a residency or an internship or an apprenticeship is required, it's the same thing when it comes to becoming a Rav. One receives a smicha, which is, the diploma, so to speak, but then one needs to go on to get shimush, which is, to sit by a Rav and actually see how halacha is applied in the real world, to the point that their Rav is willing to, give them the authorization to then go and paskin on their own. And Baruch Hashem, the program is very big, and shimush tends to be done on an individual basis, so we don't offer shimush. So that's an important point that I would mention. Let's talk about one more thing about the Smicha program, actually 2 more, before we move on to the 5 topics that I want to discuss with regards to how the Smicha program actually works. The first thing I want to talk about is just the topics that we cover throughout the course of the Smicha program. So traditionally, the topics that are covered throughout Smicha, and it's the same that we cover, are Hilchas Basar B'Chalav, Hilchas Taruvas, Hilchas Melicha, Hilchas Ma'achalei Akum, and a little bit of Hilchas Shabbos. Another thing that I would mention is that the way our program works is that we try to, and as we're about to get into the 5 components of the program, so this is an important overarching principle, is that we really try, the way the Smicha program works is that we try to grab the stick on both ends, in the sense that on the one hand, there's really nothing live about the program. The shiurim are not live. You're going to have an account on our website, as I'll discuss, which you're able to access to watch the shiurim. The books, we're mailing them to you, physical books. You're able to access a copy through your account on our website, and you can really learn when and how it works for you. You can take the quizzes and the tests when you're ready. So in one sense, the program is very flexible, can be taken over as quickly or as slowly as one likes. It's very flexible. That said, we also try to grab the stick on the other end, in the sense that we do want to create as much of a structure and a framework wherein the learning is taking place. And we also want to try as hard as possible to provide as much support to the people in the program as possible, which is why the program is designed in such a way that every person who joins the program is part of a cohort. Each cohort has a schedule, so they know each week what they need to be covering in terms of shiurim, in terms of material to cover, in terms of quizzes, tests, etc. They know each week what they need to cover. Each cohort has a group WhatsApp chat where people can post questions and answers, discuss what they're learning. We set people up with chavrusas if people are interested. Each cohort has one of the Rabbonim, one of the Magidei Shir in the program, who is the Shoyel Meishiv for that cohort, meaning the person who is responsible for answering questions that come up in learning. So these are Rabbonim who are available effectively 24/6, although, if you message in the middle of the night, it might take a few minutes or a few hours. But the Rabbonim, the Magidei Shir in the program, who are their involvement with each cohort is to answer questions that come up in learning, answer any other type of questions about tests, how to prepare for tests, additional, Mara Makaimas for learning, etc. This is the job of the Shalom Eshiv, also to set up chavrusas, etc. So the point is that what we end up with is that on the one hand, the program is very flexible, and ultimately, if somebody wants to go slower than the schedule or fast in the schedule, they can, but there is still a schedule and there is still a structure wherein the learning is taking place, so that person can feel like there's momentum. I know what I need to learn every day, every week, etc. I'm going through the program, and at the end of the year, I have finished the Smicha program. So that's just a general point to consider with regards to how the program actually works. Again, the shiurim are not live. You can access them whenever you want, learn from them whenever you want, etc. That said, there is still a strong support system within the program where the teachers, the Magidei Shir, the Rabbonim are in touch with the Chevra, the students are in touch with each other, and that way you do feel like there's a framework wherein your learning is taking place. All right, let's move on to discuss some components of the actual program. The first thing let's talk about is the Mochin Smicha translated and explained Shulchan Aruch, which I have over here, which this is the second volume of Basar B'Chalav. You are going to be getting a package of 9 books. We're going to be mailing you 9 of these physical books that you are going to be learning from throughout the course of your Smicha studies. You can also access them digitally online through your account, but we do also mail out physical books. This is, if I may say so myself, a tremendous work, unlike any other Shulchan Aruch that exists. And Baruch Hashem, we have a great team of writers, editors, etc., who've put this together. The way the books work is that, first of all, each spread, as you can see, each spread has the Shulchan Aruch on one side of the page and the English on the other side of the page. On the right side, which is the Shulchan Aruch, we've redone this layout. We own this layout of the Shulchan Aruch. It's specifically been designed to be clear. We've taken out some of the elements that are otherwise found on Shulchan Aruch's pages of Shulchan Aruch, which people tend not to learn and just tend to overwhelm the learner. We've taken that out. We've redone the typesetting so that it's clear. And you can also see that there's a gray bar which will correspond to the English, which I'll discuss in a second. Now, so that's pretty straightforward. That's the Shulchan Aruch on the right side of every page spread. On the left side is the English. Now, what you're looking at is every halacha, every seif in the Shulchan Aruch is broken up into 4 sections. The first section is the introduction. The introduction section has any background information relevant to contextualizing and understanding the Shulchan Aruch. So whether that's a background Mishnah or Gemara or Machlokes Rishonim, Tur, Beis Yosef, Darkei Moshe, anything that's relevant to be able to understand the Shulchan Aruch is brought down over here, along with any concepts that the Shulchan Aruch discusses, which the learner might be unfamiliar with, are explained over here. Now you can see on this sample page, the introduction is quite short. However, because this is a straightforward halacha, the sample. However, elsewhere, you might find that the introduction stretches over multiple pages because it's more intricate, it's more detailed, it's more complicated. So the point is that basically, a person needs to recognize that even though we're learning the Shulchan Aruch in the Smicha program, the Shulchan Aruch is but one link on a very long chain of halachic scholarship, and there's much that came before it and much that came after it, and one cannot simply open up a Shulchan Aruch and start to learn and expect to appreciate or understand what's going on. One first needs to be brought up to speed to understand where the Shulchan Aruch has come from, the nuance of the discussion, so that he can actually understand and also appreciate what the Shulchan Aruch is saying, and that's the point of the introduction section. To bring, like I said, to bring the learner up to speed, whether it's background information, concepts, etc. That's the first section. The second section is the translation of the halacha. This is a straightforward section, translation of the Mechaber and the Ramah. It's very straightforward, bold for direct translation, unbold for filler words. We also have these introductory little, one-liners that separate the halacha into different clauses and just give context as to what the Shulchan Aruch or the Ramah is going to be talking about. That's the second section. The third section is by far the longest section, which is called Discussions and Explanations. This is all the discussions in the Noisei Kelim and the commentaries in the Shulchan Aruch, starting with the primary focus of the Shach and the Taz, which are the 2 primary commentaries on the Shulchan Aruch, on both sides of the Shulchan Aruch, as well, and going through the Shach and the Taz very in depth. It's not summarized. It's also it's not a direct translation of the Shach and the Taz, but it's also not a summary. You can call it an in-depth, point-by-point summary. So whatever the Shach and the Taz say, that is what we bring down in the discussions and explanations. It really gives everybody everything. It gives the learner everything they need to know that the Shach and the Taz mention. Additionally, we also bring down other Noisei Kelim, other commentaries where they're relevant, whether it's the Pri Megadim, Rabbi Kiva Eger, the Gra, the Pischei Tshuva, etc., anybody else generally on the page, or any other poskim, be it the Shulchan Aruch Harav, etc., and then we go and bring it down to halacha l'maaseh, the practical application of the halacha, and bring down the poskim, with regards to what to do. That's the discussions and explanations section. The fourth section is what's called sources and notes, which basically has all the sources for where things are being brought from, additional, more, call it intricate, more in-depth, more complicated discussions, etc. These are things for further study. You can look up. If you want to, somewhat more advanced, you can go through that. So the point is, that's the Shulchan Aruch. That's the Mochin Smicha Translate and Explain Shulchan Aruch. It's a really helpful tool for learning, both if somebody needs the help in terms of don't feel like they're proficient in learning the Shulchan Aruch inside, and also for somebody who is proficient, who can use the Mara Mekoimis over here, who can use it for summarizing, making sure they understood everything that's going on, etc. It is a very helpful tool. All right, the next thing to talk about is the shiurim. So the shiurim in the program are video shiurim. For the Smicha program in particular, the shiurim are given by yours truly. And the way the shiurim work is that you can see here I just want to show you what's going on in the bottom left corner, which is all the way in the bottom left corner it indicates what siman and seif is under discussion. That's a helpful thing just to know exactly what we're talking about. And then when you move a little bit over to the right, where you see there's 3 lines, so the line in the middle is the topic which is currently being discussed. So that if at any point you want to know, oh, what are we discussing right now? You can look at that. That's the topic under discussion. The one on top of that is the previous discussion, and the one below the middle one is the next topic under discussion. And you can actually skip throughout the video, and you can click through the timestamps if you want to specifically jump to a certain part of the shiur. Obviously, you can speed up the shiurim to two, double speed, half speed, etc. You can also access the shiurim just audio and download them if you don't have internet access all the time, etc. You can actually download the audio of the shiurim to listen to while you're on the go. Additionally, the way the video shiurim work is that when text is being read from to the Shulchan Aruch, then as you can see here, we bring the text up on the screen so that you can follow along. That's with regards to the shiurim. So that's the second component of the Smicha program. So the first component is our translate and explain Shulchan Aruch. The second component is the shiurim. Let's move on to talk about quizzes and tests. All right. So there is a quiz on every section, a multiple choice quiz that you can take whenever you want at the end of every section, normally at the end of every siman, or maybe it's a very long siman, we'll break it up into two, that you can take to gauge how well you knew it. Pretty straightforward. You get the results immediately. But this bleeds, and it's a very good tool for Chazor. Now, this bleeds a little bit into tests. So the way the Smicha program works is that there's 6 tests throughout the course of the program. 2 on Basar B'cholav, 1 on Melicha and Machal Yakum, 2 on Taruvas, in other words, the first half of Taruvas, second half of Taruvas, and 1 on Shabbos. Every test, in order to be able to take the test, you need to have taken and passed all the quizzes within that section. Now, you can take the quizzes multiple times, but in order to take the test, you have to have at least taken and passed each quiz once. And then we do that on purpose so that when you are about to take the test, you can feel somewhat confident that you are prepared for the test because you took the quizzes within that section and you passed them. The tests all work exactly the same. They are also multiple choice. They're timed, and they're open book. So they're open book, so you can look up an answer if you're unsure, but they are timed, so you need to make sure that you basically know the answer already because you don't have time. You're not going to have time to fully look up an answer. There is a system for retaking tests if somebody fails, but we're not going to get into that now. All right, so that's with regards to quizzes and tests. Again, I think the quizzes are very helpful in making sure people are prepared. The tests are straightforward. They're clear. You get the results right away. You don't have to wait, etc. All right, that's the third component of the program. The fourth component, let's talk about the Rabbonim in the program. So, like I mentioned when I was talking before, in regards to how the program works, every cohort has a Sholem Eshev, one of the Rabbonim in the program, who is in touch with the students on a daily basis. If sometimes to answer all questions that come up in learning, be it by WhatsApp, by text message, emails, calls, etc. This is somebody who's there to help you succeed in the program and make sure that you understand everything that's going on. You're prepared for the tests. If you have questions about schedules, whatever it is, you can reach out to them and they will most definitely help you. That is the fourth component of the test. The last component of the program. The last component of the program is just your account on our website. Just how that works. Basically, all this material, everything that I spoke about until now, is basically housed in your account on our website. So let me just walk you through very quickly how that account on our website works, how to navigate it, how to log in, what you can expect, etc. So that when you do start the program, you will have no problems getting set up. Again, I do think it's intuitive and not complicated, but just to make sure, let me just give you a little explanation. All right, so assuming you've registered to the program, you've been accepted into the program, and you have provided payment info and your account has been set up, you will have an account on our website, which I'm going to show you how to access, how to log in, and how it all works. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to our website, onlinemachon.com. Then in the top right corner, you'll see it says account. You're going to click on account. You'll see here it says my account, login, and you are going to put in your username or email address and your password. So I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to do that, and then I will pick up once I am logged in. All right, so once you're logged in, you can see here it says My Account. I'm using a sample account, so it says Sample Student Account, but yours will say your name here. Then it says 4 courses, 0 completed, 0 certificates, 0 points. As you progress through the Smicha program, courses will become completed, and when you complete a course, you also get a digital certificate. All right, I'm going to skip this section for a second. I'm just going to go down to the bottom. Over here is where you can just edit the information on your account. So you have dashboard, orders, subscriptions, download addresses, payment methods, account details, logout. You just click on them. If you need to change something with regards to your subscription or an address, whatever it is, you can click on that and you can do that. I don't have to go through it. It's pretty straightforward. Let's come up here where it says your courses. This is basically where the magic happens, so to speak. This is all where all the learning happens. All right, so you see here the courses are listed by number: 1, Basar B'cholav, 2, Machal Yaakam and Malicha, 3, Taruvis, 4, Shabbos. So let's actually jump into the first course, which is Basar B'cholav, and let's see what it looks like. So again, I can see here 1 Basar B'cholav Smicha program, 0% completed. As I go through the program and mark off things as completed, the percentage will increase until it's 100% when I'm finished. And then if I just click on this, one of these sections, then I'm actually going to jump into the actual course. So if you look on the side, you have this pretty straightforward sidebar. You have a general section, which just has a bunch of different information: how to use your account, just a helpful video, a presentation welcoming everybody to Machon Smicha. There's something about how to learn Shulchan Aruch, just how to go about learning, etc. Pretty straightforward stuff. The next section is called Introduction to Basar B'cholav. This has a bunch of shiurim introduction that will help you get started. Introduction to halacha in general, introduction to a page of Torah and Shulchan Aruch, introduction to Hilchos Basar B'cholav, and then, as I've mentioned, there is going to be a quiz, which you can do. You submit, you finish the quiz, and it'll tell you how well you did. All right, but the general section, the introduction section, you're going to probably breeze through, and the most of your time spent learning will be in the actual simanim, the actual chapters. You'll see here that every siman looks exactly the same. It has 3 elements. It has shiurim, it has the Shulchan Aruch study guide, and it has a quiz. So let's jump right in. So the first thing it has is the shiurim. So these are shiurim. You can click on them, you can watch them, etc., and you just go through each one. Every shiur tells you what it's on. Very straightforward, the video shiurim. That's the first component. Second component is the Shulchan Aruch study guide. This, again, we are mailing it to you, but this is if you want to access a digital version, you can, let's just wait for it to clear up, you can access it from here and you can learn. Maybe you're on the plane or you're somewhere where you don't have your books, you forgot your books, etc., you want to learn, you can do that. And then the last section is the quiz, which you can take, etc., finish quiz, and they'll give you the results. And you can see back on the left side, every section looks exactly the same, right? So every siman has shiurim, Shulchan Aruch study guide, and quiz. And if I go all the way to the bottom, I see test number 1, Hilchos Basar B'cholav, and test number 2. So the point is, once I'm finished Pei Zayin 87, Pei Zayin, Pei Ches, Pei Test, Tzadik Aleph, I'm going to come down over here. I'm ready to take test number 1, Hilchos Basar B'cholav, Siman Pei Zayin through Tzadik Aleph. I am going to fill in my information, and I'm going to press start quiz. If I were to try and press start, I know it calls it a quiz, but it's really a test. If I were to press this now, then it wouldn't work. It'll tell me you're locked out. You're not able to take the test because you haven't yet completed all the correct quizzes. All right, so again, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to just click over here. This is how the accounts work. It's the same thing for the other courses. This is Basar B'cholav. It's the same thing for Machal Yaakov, Malicha, for Taruvis. It's all the same. Once you go through it, you mark off each thing as complete, and then once you finish with Basar B'cholav, you move to Machal Yaakov and Malicha, then you move to Taruvis, and then you conclude with Shabbos. All right, that's how the accounts work. All right, so we went through the 5 primary components of the Smicha program: our Machon Smicha translated and explained Shulchan Aruch, the shiurim, the quizzes and tests, the Rabbonim in the program, and your account, the online accounts. We also discussed, again, more broadly how the Smicha program works, in the sense that on the one hand, we do try to create a live experience and a supportive experience, but on the other hand, the shiurim are not live, so to make it flexible. And as of course, if anybody has any questions about the Smicha program or any of our other programs, definitely reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk. We'd be happy to answer any questions. And Be'ezras Hashem, we would love to see you joining our program and learning with us. And Be'ezras Hashem, you should have a lot of hatzlacha in your learning, and go mechayel el choyel hatzlacha rabba.